of it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. How you going, buddy? You good?
Good, mate. Good evening, as James says in the comments. Good evening, James, to you. I'm good. James is good. It's been a big week in sport. Let me just say, our tipping has gone down the absolute gargler this week. It's terrible, both of us. Terrible. We'll talk about that when we get to it.
It's very shit. Yep.
There's one team in particular that's in a lot of strife. And they are 0-3, but the first ever premiership side to start 0-3 to the following season.
Yeah, they're struggling.
I mean, you don't want that against your record, surely. They are in a lot of trouble. Not playing the best of football are the Geelong Cats. But other than that, it's been well. The ankle's coming along, flying along, Domo. You'd be happy.
Oh, you're not in the bed at least.
I'm not in the bed, back upstairs. I can walk up and down. I actually hit my first rehab session today, so I'll tell you, it's a bit sore. But got the rehab session through and look forward to getting back out there and putting up some jumpers on a Monday night. But big week. I look forward to UFC because it's an absolute belter of a card, an absolute belter, and I'm pumped to preview that one for sure.
Definitely a bit in the hobby talk as well. There's a bit happening in the hobby just in general. If you haven't already and you've been living under a rock, we did interview Dan the Car Man, which was a lot of fun. He's a great guy, and just a bit of insight into some of the stuff we've covered in recent weeks, but also just covering some of the lemons and just an update. The great Lamont has blocked us, so add him to the list with Sack Cards and PWCC Source and Card Porn, so it's up to 4 now. It's growing. The other 3, they're good sports at the moment. Sports Card Plaza's actually followed us, so good on him for being a good sport.
Good on you, Josh.
Yeah, but the rest of them are all good except for the great Lamont. He's obviously the ringleader of the hobby Lamont tree, and when the going gets tough, you just block people. So anyway, Adam, evening. We will start with AFL though, and we'll get there. As Saucy mentioned, there's been some interesting results, starting with Thursday night football last week, and the Doggies got the job done over the Lions. And I think it's safe to say we were surprised with this one, but just also surprised in the inconsistencies with Brisbane. And mind you, the quality of football was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, I will say I'll learn 2 things in this game. Brisbane Lions will not win the premiership. I can say that with 100% confidence. And I'll tell you right now, with 3 games in, look, if they go on to prove me wrong, so be it. They prove me wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they will not win the AFL premiership this season. And the Doggies, you don't know what you're going to get from them on any given week. So I don't believe that they're going to be any side of threat to the premiership this season. But it was a must-win game for them. And I did mention last week, I would not be surprised if they did come out and actually get a win against Brisbane, because we've seen this before with Brisbane. When they go away from home against teams that they should beat, albeit that they are one of the top 5 favourites for the flag by the bookies this season. I mean, if you're a flag, in that top potential 4 spot, you're going to be beating these teams away from home, especially the Doggies. 100%. They're down, they're struggling, and they just got outworked and out-hustled by the Doggies. And I mean, they allowed Jamara to have an absolute, cracker of a game. He stepped up, and, good for the lad after a tough week, obviously what happened 100%. The previous week. And, he marked it with the Nicky Winmar signature, pointing to the skin. So very proud of his heritage, as he should be, because as he should be. I'm not saying anything else other than that, but it was good to see. And he spoke very well after the game, and it was good to see that the club got around him in a tough situation, because you don't want to see that rubbish. And as we say, unfortunately,
not anywhere, to be honest.
Unfortunately, it still happens, and there's always lemons out there, Doma, and the lemon tree keeps growing. That's why we give them out on this show, because there is lemons left, right, and center. We've got another one this week.
Oh, we've got a nice big one too. The next game on the Friday night was the Pies versus the Tigers. And I learned one thing in this game, Source. One thing. I don't care if you're a Richmond supporter and you're going to say, we got injuries, we had this, we had that. Collingwood should have beaten us by more. Yeah, they should have. But you know what? They left you in the game and they played shit for Collingwood standards. And their shit is still amazing. They played terrible, but because they kicked inaccurately, that's why they won by 14 points. If they played terrible and it was 15-8 instead of 8-15, it would have been a bloodbath. They didn't even play great football. They struggled. They were just turning the ball over nonstop. I understand the conditions were tough. I get that. The other thing is, Scott Pendlebury, take a bow. Did you see the goal he scored, Sauce?
Oh, it was a cracker. It was a cracker. It made it look like he was bloody 23
Oh.
years old. The step on him.
Oh, and then, of course, Nick Dacos got into little Morris Rioli, mate. And then we saw from behind, once he got into Morris Rioli, there's only one man and one man only that's going to come get you from behind. And that was the dirtiest player in the game. Big Tommy Lynch is coming with the... I'm surprised he come with the low blow. I'm surprised he come with the low blow. Turn around, give him the eye poke.
Why do we call him the dirtiest player in the game, mate? That's exactly why. Telling you, mate.
But you know what? Tom Lynch, he was sticking up for his teammate, but it was just funny. Just to see him in the mix. And I was just pissing myself. The dirtiest player in the game. But they got the job done by 14. They obviously have no Howe, no Cox. They lost Darcy Cameron in this one as well.
They're thinking of playing McStay in the ruck this week.
They have to. They've got no rucks. They've got no rucks. Kruger's still injured. Like, they got no rucks. So McStay's going to go in there. So this will be a big test for the Pies now. You know what I mean? They've copped a key, injury to key players. But in saying that, Source, the Tigers won the flag with Shawnee Grigg playing in the ruck. Exactly right. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So, and you can best bet on this show because the Pies haven't let us down for the first 3 weeks. We're probably going to tip them again. They were my red-hot favourite tip last year, Source. Remember when they won 10 straight and I tipped them every week?
You just kept tipping them. Yeah, I remember.
Kept tipping them. I believed in them. So they're my hot tip on the Double Coverage podcast. So I'm going to go with them. Saturday, the first game up was my mob, and they got done against the Hawks in Tassie, 11-14, 80 to 9-7, 61. No Simpkin. LDU was a laid out in this one. That is still no excuse to lose to Hawthorn, in my opinion. We just got beaten. It's plain and simple. We got beaten. We mounted a massive comeback, but, when you give teams 5-goal head start, 6-goal head start, Source, like, we're not the Pies.
Oh, mate,
they just come roaring back.
I know, mate, and that happened. The same thing happened to the Dons, mate, against St Kilda. Gave them a five goal. I think they outscored us 5-4 in the first quarter, and it was just insurmountable. We got it back, and we couldn't overcome it. And it's disappointing, that you give that head start, and it's always difficult. It's always difficult to come back from that head start.
And good news for North fans this week against going into the Collingwood game for Good Friday appeal. We've got Simpkin back, Source.
Are you versing Collingwood?
Carlton.
No,
Carlton. Did I say Collingwood?
You said Collingwood.
Carlton.
Sorry.
I'm
sure I've seen the promos with Carlton.
Apologies. Against Carlton. We've got Simpkin back. We're losing Griffin Logue, Source. And the sad thing is, LDU's not going to play again.
Oh, no. Is
We're
McKay back?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When the LD Sue is not playing, you can't win. Simple as that.
He's the barometer, isn't he?
He's the barometer. Well, him and Simpkin, our two best clearance players, out doesn't help. But, it is what it is. Hopefully we bounce back. But you know what? North's already overachieved, Source. They've won 2 games this season. So I'm celebrating.
Yeah, no,
and we're on top of the Cats. So I can't complain, can I?
You can't complain.
Yeah, can't complain at all. Next up, we had the Blues defeating the Giants by 10 points. It was 9-10 to 9-20. Making 20 behinds the Blues. Controversial descent by Cornelio, effectively costing them the game.
Yeah, soft.
In the last quarter, literally, it was a free kick to goal and put them up by 10 points, and that was the final margin in the end. So anything could have gone. It could have gone either way, people saying, but it is what it is. Giants get done. Saucy got that tip. I made up a tip on Sauce because I went the Saints, and everyone bagged the shit out of me last week when I went the Saints, and I nailed it. They got the job done against the Bombers. And your thoughts on this one, Sauce? Are the Saints the real deal?
Look, the Saints are a well-coached side, and that's because Ross Lyon is a good coach, and that's why I said I would have liked Ross Lyon at Essendon because he's able to get results. And I feel like, I was confident going into that game. And you have a look at their outs, but it just goes to show that a good coach with a good system can get you results, no matter the cattle that it's out there. They'll make it happen. And all this bullshit that all these coaches say that you need more than one off season to put a game plan in place that can get you results. Well, that's rubbish, mate. Because Ross Lyon's come in one off season to put in a game plan that makes them very, very tough to score against. And their intensity and pressure was good from the beginning. And Essendon's was lackluster. We let them chip market too much in the first quarter. Kept bombing it long, straight on Wilkie's head. I think he had 5 marks just in the first quarter alone. In our 50. And when you intercept mark, turn it over like that, once we turned it over and they got that intercept mark, their rebound back the other that way, they worked so hard and outworked Essendon. And that's how they were able to get that 5-goal lead. And then it was just insurmountable. I mean, we got it back. And then when we got it back, what's inexcusable for Essendon? And, Essendon supporters should be rope all about. We let him kick 5 goals in a row in the first quarter. And then when we got it back to even, we let him kick fucking 5 goals in a row to extend the lead again. I mean, after they kick 2, you got to have your leaders got to go in there. This is where I'm saying, no offense to our midfielders that we currently have, but mate, that's where your midfielders have to go into that center clearance, and you got to know that they're not going to lose that one. Man, you look at the great teams of the past. Look at the 2000, the 3-time premiership Brisbane Lions. You knew that when fucking Tone Golden was getting tough, Voss was going in there, Black was going in there, Ackermanis was going in there, and that.
You're muted. Oh, no. On his rant, too.
That ball was going out, going forward in Brisbane's direction, right? So it's just not good enough. Just not good enough. We were soft at times. Redmond had an absolute dog of a day. Everyone online is giving Heppel a whack, so I won't, so I will say he's past his best, and, he's been a great servant of the club, and probably it is time when we do get some other guys back a bit fitter, he probably will, probably lose his spot. And I think that's half the reason why they did take the captaincy off him, because I felt like they needed to drop him last year, and you can't sort of drop your captain. It sort of goes against everything of, giving your captain the captain. So look, it's going to be tough for Essendon fans. I mean, I actually, if you have a look at our next 5 games, we might not win a game for the next 5. I actually see that as a possibility. So there's some tough games there. Look, it's going to be tough because that was just signs of we don't work hard enough. Where it's all good when we got the ball going forward. We like to work forward, and we've been getting the ball forward. Yeah, we got the ball forward and bombed it in. We lacked a contest. Wiedemann was soft as butter. We do miss Big Peter right down there. It gives us more of a contest. But look, it is what it is. Saints beat us. Well done to the Saints. I still think he's a fucking shit. And you aren't going to do anything this year, even though you are 3-0. But it is what it is.
Done. All right, next one up, Sauce. 31-point winners. Maybe Port Adelaide is no good. They got done by the Crows. I was surprised. They lose 86 to 117, 31-point belting. They just turned it on in the second half, and they put on a clinic, the Crows. Got the job done in the showdown.
You got the stats there?
Isaac Ranking dominated this one. Let's go to the match center. Let's have a look. Let's open it up, Sauce. Let's go a bit more.
I want to see Richelli's stats. I think he had a game. He had a great game, didn't he?
Mate, you can even... that's the fixture. I just want the stats, mate. Where's the breakdown? Here, the breakdowns.
Sorry, I didn't catch this one, but I heard someone told me Richelli had an absolute cracker of a game. Did he kick a few goals? Did he? He kicked 1 goal. How did it? He was by the end of it. He just couldn't run anymore.
Player stats. Let's go.
Got 18. 18. Not bad. 1 goal. You'll take that. Who kicked the bag? Riley Thilthorpe.
Thilthorpe.
You take that.
Yeah.
Rankine, 4 goals.
Laird had 26, Sloan 22, Mitch Hinge played very well. Yeah, Rochelle.
Good game,
played
117, 86, high scoring. It's what you want to see in a showdown.
They just smashed them. They smashed them after halftime. It was just
pretenders, mate. Pretenders.
Yeah, they're no good. They're actually no good. They just can't play together. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so they get the job done there. Then bit of a shock
season,
sauce on.
So there's going to be time. Look, you don't know. We don't know. There's going to be. As you said, there's going to be a team that steps out and does something a bit out of the ordinary, which people weren't expecting at the beginning of the season.
That actually could be St Kilda at the moment because it is
at the moment. It could be.
But Sunday, just beating up on the team now that they're when they're down, and that's the Suns with a Malcolm Blight type goal from Lukosius.
70-meter
drop punt, 73 meters source.
Was it measured? Was it
73 meters? He banged it from. Unbelievable. They get the job done against the reigning premiers, 73-54.
Don't talk to me about it, Doma. I'm not happy about it.
Oh, mate, you had everything on this one.
Dirty.
We had off the grid. We had the Oz GP going, and Saucy had this running in the background, and he wasn't happy. Yeah,
I'm not happy.
Cats. There's a bit of a steer clear, I think, at the moment. Dangerfield, captain, 9 possessions, I think, in the first quarter, and then had 10 for the rest of the game. So it went a bit missing. Then we had the D's. They back up from last week's terrible performance, beating the Swans by 50 in a demolition job. And then the last game was Fremantle demolishing West Coast, who had that many injuries in this game. It was ridiculous. And big injuries too. Cripps is out for pretty much the whole season. McGovern's out for 6 weeks. They lost Shuey for a couple of weeks in this as well. Who else went down? There was another one or another 2. I think Flying Ryan as well, Sauce. He picked up an injury in this. So the whole team pretty much went down. So they're gonna struggle. Our tips. Do we want to go through it? It was
we got 3 apiece. Absolutely shocking. All right, let's move on to this week. That's unfortunate for West Coast. I feel like they probably would have kept it closer should they not have got 3 major injuries in the game. I mean, anyone gets 3 injuries in a game, that's going to be tough.
Exactly. Matty Tabe said he tipped 7 out of 9 and picked the first game margin last week. Are you kidding? Unreal. Well done. This week's game source. Let's get our tips, and it starts with Thursday night football, Brisbane versus Collingwood at the Gabba.
I'm not going to lie. I'm telling you, Doma, this is the type of game. I mean, they don't have a ruckman, so it's going to be tough in that middle. But this is the type of game that Brisbane, even though they played terribly last week, they'll come out and they'll play good against the Pies who are in hot form, and they'll win the game. So I'm going to tip the Lions. This is the type of game where they play good. They're on their home deck, and they go, we've got the confidence.
I'm going to tip the Lions. I'm sticking with the Pies. They just got all the belief. Good Friday game. We have North against the Blues.
Blues.
I am not tipping North Melbourne this week. I'm going the Blues. Saturday, we've got Adelaide versus Fremantle at Adelaide Oval.
Got to go Adelaide.
Yep. Going Adelaide as well. Then we got the Tigers versus the Dogs at the G. Hopper back, Martin back this week.
Yeah, Richmond.
I am also going Richmond. Saints Suns at Marvel.
Saints. I'm going to go the Saints.
I'm going Saints. Sydney versus Port Adelaide at the SCG.
Sydney will bounce back.
I'm going Sydney on the bounce back. Also, the Bombers versus the Giants on Sunday. Easter Sunday at Marvel.
I'll be going first game of the season, Dom. I can walk. The mobility's back, so I'll be able to walk to the game. I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like I'm gonna have to back the Giants.
Ooh,
I just can't go. I'd rather.
I'm back in the Bombers. I'm gonna back the Bombers this week. I'm backing them. West Coast versus Melbourne.
Melbourne.
I'm also going Melbourne. And the last one, Source. They're 0-3. And as Adam says, the best thing about Geelong being 0-3 is that they're 0-3. And guess who they're playing this week on Easter Monday? The Hawks. At the G, Source. You can't, surely. We said this about North, but surely the great Geelong Hawthorn rivalry, they can't send them to 0-4. Surely.
Doma. What did
No.
oh,
No.
Geelong are playing that bad of football. I mean, I watched that game against Gold Coast, and their inability to mark up Gold Coast or apply the pressure that we've seen them apply last year to teams that had them fumbling in fits. Their inability to, from the back line, to build uncontested marks when the game's not going their way and then move it back on their way. I mean, is it fair to say that without Selwood, they don't have the ability in that middle to know that they're going to win as much ball in there, and they're getting beaten in and around the ground? That leader that they're lacking. Is he really that much of a difference? Well, at this point in the season, he is. He is.
You're not
heart and soul of that club. And I'm tipping the Hawthorn. And these games are renowned for being close, Stommer. They are renowned. I mean, why shouldn't Hawthorn have the confidence after beating North last week? And it's not like they beat you, pretty easy. Wasn't really that close.
I'm going to stick with Geelong. I just think they will come out and do something, but I can see why you're going there. No, fair enough. Fair enough. That's it. So they're the tips. I'll get them out on the socials so everyone can follow along. And if you're following along at the moment, you're probably just not going to want to follow our tips. You're just in it to see who wins between me and Source because we're being putrid at the moment.
And so, Doma, anyway, after what AFL, they did to me last week, Geelong, I can't fucking tip them again, mate. I can't tip them again because I'm still ropeable.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's move on to the EPL Source. Here are the results. After going up 1-0, Liverpool against City, they got slammed
1-0. I was watching the game live after the Dons. I was like, all right, I'm going for Liverpool. I tuned in live, Doma. Salah scores. Salah! I'm going off. I'm cheering for Liverpool. And then it was all downhill from there.
Haaland
it was an absolute clinic. Haaland didn't even play. They still bagged 4 against them.
They destroyed them. Yes. And what do you know? One of the biggest talking points that came out of it, not to say that we haven't been saying this for about a year and a half, is that Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't know how to defend. Who would have thought that he was probably one of the most, if not the most overrated fullback ever that I've in my lifetime. Comparing him as one of the best. Yeah, I know, but
he's not very good at defending.
He's overrated. Nottingham, Wolves 1-1. Palace, Leicester 2-1. Winners to Palace. Brighton and Brentford 3-3 in that one. Bournemouth, Fulham 2-1. Arsenal defeat Leeds 4-1. Just too good. Clinical. Get the job done.
Gabriel Jesus 2 on the score sheet. They gave him the penalty to get his first goal back for the season.
So West Ham defeated Southampton 1-0. Aston Villa travelled to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea 2-0. I could not believe this result when I saw it. That is a disgrace. Obviously, Potter has been sacked. Yes, James just dropped that in the comment. Yes, Potter has been sacked. And
so is Brendan Rodgers down at Leicester.
Yeah, he's gone as well. Well, they want
Leicester.
Nagelsmann, who was the former manager of Bayern, who now Thomas Tuchel is now the manager of. So I don't know what they're doing. Chelsea's lost the plot. They've gone in two seasons. They're going to have 4 managers. They had Lampard into Tuchel, into Potter, into whoever's next. Unbelievable. Then we had Everton 1-1 against Tottenham. Late goal by Keane for Everton in that one to secure the draw. Did you see that goal, Source? Absolute a banger in that one. He just slapped it in the 92nd minute, straight past the keeper from outside the box, from a mile away. Just nailed that one. And I got up for this one, and it wasn't worth me getting up. But Newcastle, it was 2-0 against United, but they could have kicked 5 or 6. We got pretty
Put on a
lucky.
clinic. St.
Lucky
Maximin
we
had you
they
running in
are.
circles.
Oh, mate. Unbelievable. Our away form since winning the Carabao Cup has been nothing short of deplorable. And our stats away from home this year in general have been shithouse. So, not good. Not good at all. I don't think we've scored a goal in our last 4 away games or something like that. Something just stupid. So, anyway, not good for United. This week, though,
Have a
Source,
look at the ladder. There we go.
What do we got?
I'm just saying the big win by West Ham puts them, a little bit
fifth.
of points. Yeah, well, you're fifth, mate. You better start winning some games. You might miss out on Champions League.
We've got 2 in hand on Tottenham, which is good.
2 in hand. 2 in hand.
Oh, we've
Same
got Brentford
equal
this week too.
Newcastle.
Oh dear.
It's gonna be a tough game. Is it away from home?
I don't know.
Yeah, Arsenal and Liverpool. All right, let's have a look at the matches.
Yeah. Might as well matches this week. We have Bournemouth, Brighton, Leeds, Nottingham, Leicester, Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool on the 5th. On the 6th is United, Brentford. Then we have West Ham, Newcastle. The 8th. We've got a fair few games this week. But then we've got United, Everton, Villa, Nottingham, Brentford, Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, Leicester, Bournemouth, Tottenham, Brighton, Wolves, Chelsea, Southampton City, Leeds, Palace. And then on the 10th is Liverpool, Arsenal, 1:30. I'll probably have to get up for that bad boy and watch that and be cheering for the Gunners because I can't stand Liverpool and I can't stand City. So,
well, Doma, mate, if it's getting close, I mean, especially some of the games that are coming up, we'll have a look at. I've got to have a look at my teams,
mate. I reckon we should do a watch party for that game on the 10th. Liverpool, Arsenal. We'd be stupid not to.
There we go. That one. And there's a Thursday morning game, April 27th, which could decide the league, Doma, against Man City. And it's a Thursday morning, 5 a.m. fixture.
Oh, yeah. We might have to get up for that one too.
We
might even get up for a few of these, Source. Like, what's the Tuesday's the 4th. Oh, today's the 4th. Tomorrow's the 5th. Tomorrow morning's Chelsea Liverpool, 5 a.m.
There you go. Not bad.
And then we play at 5 a.m. on Thursday against Brentford.
Yeah, there's fixtures on tomorrow.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 9:30, United Everton. That's an early game if you're around. We can even jump on that if you're keen. And then, on the 10th, which is on Monday morning, next Monday, Easter Monday, Source. The Easter Monday clash, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Oh, there we go. I don't
Doesn't
have
get
to go
much
to work,
better than that. I think that's
sweet.
Yeah, it is Easter Monday. Mint. All right, we'll keep an eye out for those ones. All right, moving on, Source, to the NBA, and this is just the topic of discussion, and it is just Dallas suck.
Horrendous.
You've been watching a lot more than I have at the moment, so just a rundown of what you're seeing around the courts.
They just look terrible. They just don't play any defense. The defense, which was really good in the start of the season, and they were struggling for offense, they add, pieces, and their defense goes down the gargler, and their offense, is good. But then when you can't stop teams and you're allowing other teams to put up 130 points a night, it's going to be tough to win games. So I don't know, problems down there in Dallas. I got a feeling Jason Kidd is done. I reckon he's going to get fired. They're going to bring in a new coach at some point. I just feel like he's not going to last.
What are your thoughts on this report from Bill Simmons that Draymond Green and LeBron are going to go team up with Luka and Kyrie in Dallas?
I don't know what. Until I see it, I won't believe it. It's all
as good as
rumors and innuendo.
Luka's going to go to the Heat.
Yes. Remember, he says a lot of random shit. Bill Simmons. He's terrible.
I'm telling you, at the moment, if you're LeBron James and you're moving towards the end of your career, if Anthony Davis can stay, I know it's an if. We know it's not going to happen, but this is proof in the pudding as how good he is when he's
Got
healthy
3
enough to
games
play.
in a row, 35
He's just
plus.
dominating. He's unstoppable. Unstoppable. And it just lets guys like LeBron just waltz around the court getting triple doubles and frees up other guys to just play their game. Because all the attention's on AD.
Look, the team has improved since the trade deadline, for sure. Playing better basketball, playing a lot better defense. I'll be interested to see, what happens. I mean, if we finish in 6th, and I looked at this, I eyed it off. If we were able to finish in 6th, we'll come up against the Kings. Kings' first playoff series in like 13 years, 14 years, or whatever the hell it is. Not really much playoff experience in that team. Come up against the Lakers over a 7-game series. Give me LeBron and AD over Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox every day of the week and 2 times on a Sunday. All right? It ain't going to happen. No, we'll beat them should we stay healthy. So, could advance to the second round. I mean, I still don't see us being able to get out of the West. I feel like, maybe Phoenix. I don't know. I feel like Phoenix is a danger side. Denver, they're going to piece it together. They've been the best side all season, but we see they always crumble in the offseason, in the postseason, sorry. So it'll be interesting to see how this West turns out. But look, I don't have high hopes for the Lakers. And should we overachieve or get further than I think and maybe make it to the conference finals, well, then I might start getting excited, Doma.
Yeah, 100%. Over in the East, though, like the interesting thing in the West and the East, coming towards the end of the season, there's 2 common denominators that have been reflected from last season into this season. Golden State are playing good basketball again, leading into the playoffs, like they always do. And Boston are playing good basketball leading into the playoffs. They slapped Milwaukee the other day by 40.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But Milwaukee
had a bit of an off game. Milwaukee's playing good basketball too, as well. So
yeah, I know, but
these
teams are starting to play good basketball again. It's literally exactly the same as last year.
Yeah, they peak at the right time, don't they?
You got to play.
I mean, Boston had a bit of a tough patch there for about 10 games, but they sort of kicked it back together, made the adjustments, and I mean, I like Boston. I like Boston in that East. I like Milwaukee. I feel like it's one of them two. I have put a bit of a futures multi with a few things, and then had that as the alternator. I feel like there's a few other futures bets that could be locks. And I might share something out on the Saucy's Tips page about my futures bets, what I've done with a few of them, so you can see, ladies and gentlemen, gamble responsibly. But it's one where you might put $10 on it because it's paying like 80 to 1, and there's another one that's paying 90 to 1. So $10, $5. It's a little cheeky one. I had a couple of free bets from one bookmaker, so I just used my free bets on there. So it'll be fun to see if that comes through, and that's the denominator that I have. I feel like Milwaukee or Boston is going to win it in the East, and in the West, I feel like it's a lot more difficult. I feel like there's a few more teams in the West that could win it. James, man, I put $15 on the Lakers at 67 to 1 to win the title. I mean, why not? Why not? It's not a bad little punt. 67 to 1. Are they really that valued? I mean, James, I don't know if you're familiar with. I'm just saying with odds like that, because it would be payout quite a bit. I mean, you could if they do end up making it to the Western Conference Finals or something, you could lay them off on Betfair to win the title and make it an even profit either way. Because I mean, to me, what's that? 15 by 67. Geez, Dom, that's 1,200. Quick math, 1,300 payout, 1,400 around that, something like that. It's pretty good.
No.
Yeah, 10 times 67, 670.
Yeah.
Plus 300 and something. Yeah.
It's about $1,100.
1,100, 1,200. I said was the first one. Not bad. You take it.
Yeah, it's hopefully it gets up for you, James, and Saucy will be glad too if it did get up.
Bloody oath, because the Lakers win another title, and
exactly.
LeBron wins another one, and he goes to 5, mate, equals Kobe.
Yeah, and then he finally might get into the top 5. LeBron is literally like Ronaldo. Fuck, does all this stuff, and it's like now Ronaldo's like 8th on the list, and LeBron's like 5th.
The greatest thing would be if LeBron keeps playing till he's 50 and he comes to the NBL when he's 50 and just plays one season in the NBL and averages 25, 5, and 5 in the NBL at 50 years old in another league. That'd be hilarious. Because the league, the season only goes for 40 games, Doma. So it's half the amount of games.
And wins it, and wins the chip.
And wins the chip and wins the MVP,
An MVP
at 50 years old.
Funny,
That'd be unbelievable. NBL, get recruiting. Try get LeBron when he's 50 years old to come down. I mean, he'll still be in phenomenal shape. I'm telling you.
100%. Adam said Celtics have been every team at least once in the league this season. Last time we did that was 2008. And what happened with the Celtics in 08? I'll leave that one there. You won the title. All right. If anyone wants to know what happened then, they won the title. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, they're
good on them.
good. They're definitely.
They look great.
They're in my top 4 sides to definitely win because I've picked the Bucks and Boston to make the Eastern Conference Finals. So
that's it. Very nice. All right, let's move on.
Albeit they're on different sides of the draw when it comes.
Oh man, let's get to the F1s. Fuck.
Oh geez.
I'll read it out. All right, I'll read it out. This was the finishing grid at the end of this race. And then Saucy has got a Le Mans of the week to give because what we witnessed on Sunday was terrible. Absolutely terrible. So Verstappen wins in Australia. Great win by him. Almost costed. And that's fair to say, I think, Sauce. Almost costed.
Yeah, it nearly cost him the race. The officials.
Hamilton second. Saucy's boy Alonso in third. Stroll fourth. Perez fifth. That was a good comeback from Perez, who started last. Norris sixth. Hulkenberg seventh. Piastri eighth in his first Australian Grand Prix, which is fantastic. I just want people, I hope you're paying attention, because I said Norris was in sixth, all right? And I said Nico Hulkenberg was in seventh. He drives a Haas. And I said Piastri is in eighth. And I'm about to tell you that Zhou Guanyu was in ninth.
Made it into the top 10.
All right? And Yuki Tsunoda was 10th. And Valtteri Bottas was 11th. He finished in front of Carlos Sainz, who was in a Ferrari. All right? So there's something interesting happening here. And you're going to get the story in a second from Source. And then, after Sainz in 12th, that's it. No more cars finished. I'm not sure what happened, Source. You might have to tell everyone what happened.
Oh, Doma. Absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Lunacy by the FIA. Shall I just say that right off the top? And what they did at the end of this race. And, I mean, on the live stream, we were saying, why would you restart the race with 2 laps to go? So anyone who didn't watch the race, essentially it went around with 2 laps to go. Someone had a failure.
Magnussen hit the wall. The tire came off.
Hit the wall. Tire came off. Tire on the track. At that point, Max Verstappen's 8.5 seconds. Yeah, there's debris all over the track. So there is a safety car. But at that point, Verstappen's 8.5 seconds ahead. Right? You would think 2 laps to go, 8.5 seconds. That's insurmountable. Should this not have happened, Verstappen would have just won that race easily. It's unfair to start this again under a restart because we had to have one earlier in the race because of the original start, which at the beginning of the race, there was a crash. So then we had another one, and then we had guys even spinning out on that one. Unlucky we didn't have any issues, but we had a few guys, touching wheels and things. We could have had another crash on the first restart at the beginning. They restarted the race. They gave it a red flag, Doma. And they said, we are going to restart the race with 2 laps to go. Verstappen was leading 8 seconds. Verstappen was fuming. You heard him on the radio as they pulled him out of the car. And they're like, why would they restart the race? I was so far in front. And I felt like that was, unfortunate for him. They shouldn't have done that. And they've gone and done it. And as you've heard from Donna reading about the amount of cars that finished the race, how many is there on the grid? Is there 18 on the grid, Doma?
20 on the grid.
20 on the grid and only 12 cars finished.
8 didn't finish.
8 didn't finish. We had a restart. We had crashes left, right, and center. We had Alonso getting spun out and nearly lost his third position, and they ended up having to do, roll it back, and they ended up, fixing that all up because of an issue that happened at Silverstone last year with a similar situation.
Yeah. So what happened there? What happened there was on that restart. So before that restart, 3 cars were out. On that second restart, we lost 5 cars.
Yeah,
5 cars just for 2 laps.
for 2 laps of racing.
So the reason why and then all the order was jumbled. So the reason this order was reinstated to the way it is now is because they didn't get through one sector on the track, because all these cars crashed before they could even get through one sector.
The first turn.
There's 3 sectors. There's 3 sectors. They couldn't even get through the first sector. So for 2 lap source under a safety car, they red flagged it to then do what? Finish it under a safety car.
A safety car. For the absolute stupidity that is the FIA and their decision to red flag that race.
Dollars.
Waste of millions of dollars. Exactly. Those things aren't cheap to fix, those F1 cars. It's millions of dollars of damage. Wasting that amount of money, which was unnecessary. We should have just finished it under the safety car in the first place, where us here at Double Coverage, who, we don't confess ourselves as experts on, like the people at the FIA should be on the sport. We knew not to red flag the race and just end it under a safety car. So why the hell didn't you? Because we seen this coming, another crash at the restart. Why didn't you? And for that, you guys are lemons.
There it is. There's a lemon. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. There won't be F1 on the show for a couple weeks now. The next race is on the 30th of April, Source. And that is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's street circuit, which is great. And that is a 9 p.m. start. So it's a nice early one too, Source. So we'll be happy with that. It'll be finished before midnight.
Happy.
Oh, beautiful.
Best race of the season.
So we're very happy with that. Adam Laporte says it was Dan Andrews telling the officials if they didn't go out again, then he would put them in lockdown and didn't have the time, so they restarted. So they didn't have to see Dan till next year. Don't worry about Dan. He's a fucking Le Mans, that guy.
He's a Le Mans.
He's a Le Mans himself. Well, we won't get into it here. We might have to bring it back. What are we doing here? And then we can bring that up on that podcast. But here, strictly sporting cards. All right, let's move on. Source to UFC. So
UFC.
Over to you. I'm not sure what's going to happen here with the overlay.
There's an absolute bumper card ready to rock and roll this weekend. Oh, we don't know because we've changed the overlay, but that's all right. We'll see what happens. There we go.
I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Still works. There we go.
As we see, for you, I can't see it.
This UFC segment is sponsored by Roll Clam. Now, Doma, before I even go into the spiel, we would have heard it, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for. Let me say, when I say this stuff is the best soap I've ever used, best bar of soap I've ever used, that is not me trying to fluff up a product that we are getting it for free, right? They're giving us samples, but we are trying it, and we are telling you this shit is good. Doma, I'll go for a swim at the pool. Chlorine. You know how stinky chlorine is on your skin, right? Spa, sauna sesh, pools, bit of remedies, right? Keep the body nice and healthy. I come out, I have a shower. I usually rub myself with another branded soap that's prominent in all supermarkets or in all major supermarkets. Major brand. On my skin, after I've had the shower, dry myself, my skin still smells like fucking chlorine, right? I took the roll clean down there. I used the roll clean. I'm telling you, after the shower, I could not smell one bit of chlorine on my skin. I smell exactly like the soap. Amazing. Not one bit of chlorine. I'll tell you, this stuff is amazing. Actually works. Lathers up beautiful on the loofah. The loofah. The loofah.
Loofah.
Fuck it up. The loofah. All right. This segment is sponsored by Roll Clean Soap, Australia's #1 in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Roll Clean Soap is a proud family-run Australian business. Roll Clean Soap is made with 100% natural ingredients and helps keep you clean on and off the mats. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Walk in with confidence with Roll Clean and destroy the competition. Roll Clean offers a wide range of products in assisting post-training recovery. Our magnesium bath salts, bath bombs, and boost balm can help ease those aches and pains after a hard training session. Roll Clean offers many soap varieties to choose from. Just visit www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up on social media at Roll Clean Soap. Roll Clean, we've got your back. All the links are in the description. Use the code double coverage at checkout for 20% off your first order.
Google reviews help, says Maddie. Yep, happy to leave one for you, mate, because no word of a lie, we're not talking shit here. The stuff's amazing. There's soap bags now too, Source, to get the soaps nice and sudsy when you're in the shower.
It's a bit like a loofah situation. It's got that same sort of mesh material, and it helps lather up the soap on your skin. You get that nice bubbly thick texture, and it just slides right down the belly. Let me tell you.
Yeah, what do we got? They got Epsom salts. Oh, we can. That's big Matty Tabe, I reckon, in the t-shirt here. That's for sure. Have a look at that. The big unit.
I
might have to bring it up. There's some new ambassadors as well. Nah, it's good. Really good stuff. Very proud of you guys and what you're doing over there. It's awesome. So, anyway, Saucy, the card this week. What have we got?
UFC 287. You've been living under a rock. Well, let me tell you, it's time to come out from under that rock. Alex Pereira against Israel Adesanya, #2. Some people would say #3. I say #2 because the first one was in kickboxing, not in MMA. It's a completely different ball game. They're back for the rematch. Izzy's back for his revenge. And let me tell you, Alex Pereira looks even better than last time. And I don't think he's going to be able to beat him. And I'm going to have to side with the Brazilian here in this one. I feel like Pereira gets this one again, finishes him again. I feel like Adesanya fought it really smart last time. So I feel like Adesanya can't knock him out. That's just my feeling, right? But Pereira knows he can knock Adesanya out. So Adesanya has to take this to points. Pereira, in my opinion, has to finish it. So I feel like Pereira's going to get the finish. He's going to finish this one with maybe a KO or a TKO. Again, it's going to be an absolute cracking fight. That's the main event. The co-main event, Gilbert Burns against Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. And Masvidal has come out and said if he does lose his fight, he might have to think about retiring from the sport. He is 38 years of age. He is a veteran in the sport. It's going to be an absolute cracking fight. Both these guys are brawlers. Gilbert Burns, I feel like he's got the edge in this one. Probably a bit fresher fighter. Masvidal talked a big game when I listened to the podcast with Joe Rogan. When he was on there, obviously promoting his promotion that we spoke about last week. So we'll see how that one turns out. And then a couple other fights on the main card. Rob Font against Adrian Yanez in the bantamweight. Welterweight, you had Kevin Holland against Santiago Ponzinibbio. And in the bantamweight, you got Raul Rosas Jr. against Christian Rodriguez. Now, Doma,
nice.
Do you know who Raul Rosas Jr. is?
Yeah, he's the young fella. He's the young fella.
That's the young fella, and he's still undefeated, and he's back again this week, and he's made it on the main card of a main event at, like, what is he, 19 years of age? That's 18 years of age. Unbelievable. So props to him. Don't know if he's going to win. Let's hope he can keep, building up that. He's got a lot of confidence, which is good to see in a young fella like that. So let's see how he goes. Prelim, I will tell people the prelim card kicks off from 10 a.m. and that the main event on the prelim card, the last fight is Chris Curtis against Kevin Gastelum. That's an absolute belter. So don't miss that fight on the prelims. The early prelims kick off from 8 a.m. So the main card kicks off from 12 p.m. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So check your local guides when it kicks off for you. And Doma, honorable mention, and I don't want to stuff this up, right? Because I want to get this right. So let me just do a bit of checking.
Here we go.
Hang on. Here he is. Right. Honorable mention. Razor Rob Wilkinson, the Aussie, in the PFL, the Professional Fighters League, which is PFL MMA. You can look them up. Won the title. I'm just trying to see what he actually won. The light heavyweight title in the PFL. He is the championship winner. I believe he beat. I'm trying to see who he beat, but I believe he was a UFC fighter that he beat. Thiago Santos. He beat Thiago Santos, and Thiago Santos actually fought John Jones, and I believe John Jones. Who is it? John Jones or Ngannou? Oh, I can't remember. Not one of them. He had a really tough fight against someone I've seen him, and he's given guys in the UFC a lot of tough fights. So that's a big win by Razor Rob in PFL, and props to him, the Australian. So honorable mention, definitely.
Very nice. I like it. Well done, Saucy. Next up, of course, we have Hobby Talk, brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thank you to the guys at Platinum Standard Grade. You know what I've noticed, Source? Finally, we've played that many times on this show. Ronaldo gets a fair bit of airtime in that promo, so I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. fair bit of airtime. Anyway, enough of that shit by me, as per usual. This isn't going to be a Ronaldo love fest. It's going to be a Tops Project 2022 love fest, like it always is. We've got 6 hours left on this one, and we've got Charles de Ketelaere from AC Milan. We have Hernan Crespo Source, Inter Milan. We have Cody Gakpo from Liverpool. We have Rafael Roller doing Jude the Dude Bellingham. And we have Jadon Sancho by Sanil Chitraka. So there you go. Yeah, the Tops Project 22 cards for this week. Another one, just quickly. Obviously, you can talk about this Source if you want to, all right? But I'm just going to put this up, and then you can talk about how good Panini is at their product placement. But this isn't a Panini plug. This is a plug for our good friend, Tyson Beck. Here it is. You can win the 1-on-1 Superfractor on-card auto from the world's first ever officially licensed Hasbulla rookie trading card. There you go.
It's got the RC logo on there, mate.
Yep.
And
How
it's
you
not like
enter?
it's not like you can say like with the NBA, oh, it doesn't have his uniform on, because what the fuck is Hasbulla's uniform? So Tyson has the official first rookie cards, and everyone wants to say what was first. Well, it's not these crappy Panini ones that are coming out. They're rubbish, mate. It's this stuff, mate.
On card.
Tyson and the best and on card, which you don't get better than that. You got to understand, Hasbulla sat there with his little man hands, and touched every one of those cards and signed it. Down at Panini, they're just slapping on stickers.
Exactly. So all you need to do, head on over to Tyson's page, like the post, follow Tyson, and then click the link in his bio to sign up to the Tyson Beck Rewards program for free.
Yeah, you'll sign up for free. So when you buy stuff on his website, you get points, and then you can redeem those points or coupons to get more discount off his shop.
Doesn't get much easier than that.
You actually get a benefit out of supporting the artist. Not only do you get the awesome artwork and cards with the autos and everything that he creates, you also get points for future purchases that you may come up on his store.
There you go. All right. So there is a little giveaway.
Matty Tabe says in his high chair. That would be a funny one.
That's getting drawn on the 18th of April, Saucy. So you have some time, but don't leave it to the last minute because you might forget. Next one, Sauce. I know you're excited for this one. I'm excited for this product. and that is Panini Prism Monopoly, which we got to see at the Mint Collective packs being opened. So there's details that have come out. There's two genre icons, the stunning trading card brand and the board game tied and coming together in a meaningful, massive collaboration. The gallery below offers a quick visual checklist of the parallels, but first it's worth noting that all the parallels were inspired by the Monopoly game itself. Some examples include the brown, light blue, pink, orange, red, gold, green, and boardwalk blue prisms are the same PMS colors as the spaces on the board game source. How good is that? How good is that? Just say it's good. The money
Brilliant.
shimmer features the same PMS color and numbering as the money in the game. Gold to 500, red to 100, purple to 50, green to 20, blue to 10, pink to 5, and white is to 1. The Tiger Stripe Prism features Boardwalk Blue, Monopoly Man, Question Mark, Dice, Deal and Gold Wave Money are all iconic Monopoly images. The Monopoly Black Parallel is exclusive to the board game. All right. Free parking is exclusive to I Collect Blasters. The Money Black insert is exclusive to Retail Blasters. So there's blasters for this source, right? The Money White insert is exclusive to iCollect. The board game comes with with an 8-card starter deck and 2 Prism packs, while iCollect Blasters will deliver an exclusive free parking parallel in each box on average.
Is there any preview images?
Yeah, I've got them here. I'm going to bring them up. All right. Now
Go to jail parallel. Do they have Ja Morant in jail there?
They've got your boy with an RC.
That's what James said. I'm not taking credit.
That's great.
Ja Morant
That's
to go to
great.
jail parallel.
That is great by
That was
James.
good.
Here's a Banchero, free parking. It's got an RC on their source. So is that officially his first Prism rookie?
That's a good point.
I'm just putting it out there. All right. I just put it out there. They can get Monopoly done before the product. So we can see
this is just pissing me off, you know that? It's just pissing me off. The fact that we still haven't seen Prism for Banchero's rookie
Benedict
season.
Mathurin rookie.
Wow.
As well. Here is the Monopoly Man Giannis parallel. We've got the gold Monopoly Money Ant-Man. We've got a pass go Devin Booker. We've got a chance Jason Tatum. We've got a blue tiger stripe of Damian Lillard. We've got I don't know what that one is, of Luka the Don. Handshaking Luka the Don. Free parking of Ja Morant. Free parking of Steph. Dice roll of Embiid. And a tiger stripe blue of Trae Young. Hello, Jay. Good evening. We are well. We hope you are well. We're about to just get into the thick of it all too on this in the Hobby Talk. But anyway, there you go. There's the Monopoly Prism, which is coming out with blasters source on top of the board game. So if you want to see the next pump and dump, it's this, because the board games are going to be limited, I reckon, source. There's going to only be X amount made.
I don't know.
Blasters,
if you get it for a reason,
they'll produce.
Yeah.
But the board games will be limited.
Where do you buy the board game from? Is it sold through Panini? Their website?
Panini says, enjoy the visuals and stay tuned for additional information. All right? We don't know just yet. But you best be sure we'll tell you, because this is the product of the year. Source.
Are we giving a blessed spell, are we? This will be, mark my words, the one word for you. Holy Grail. That's what he said. I got one word for it. This product will be the Holy Grail. Actually, 2 words, dude.
I love it.
That was funny. That
All
was
right.
funny. I will give credit to Cage, who was making a bit of a funny meme about Blaze. It was hilarious. I seen that. I was pissing my pants. That's why I brought that up. But yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I will say, fuck it. Buy one. If you can get it at like the retail price and it's a great price, buy one. Store it away. And I mean, if there's some, shall I say, lemon on the other end that wants to pay more for it, so be it. If not, you know what? You got Monopoly. Invite your mates over. Play a bit of board games. Instead of a bit of face-to-face time. Have a bit of fun. I hate playing Monopoly because it ends up in arguments and people cheating. So, that's
James said pre-orders already sold out. Jay says
okay.
just turned in. What the fuck was that effing nonsense? Panini jumping the shark with that shit. Oh mate, hey, it's the greatest collab of all time, and it's got Benedict Mathurin and Paolo Banchero rookie prisms in there. It's their first prism card, so get ready for that to get pumped. Anyway, next up, let's get into it, Source. I never knew, out of every grading company, everything that we've always said on this show, Source, was what? We actually have the power as the hobby.
Yeah,
and
we do.
The 2 times we've seen the power of this hobby was with one grading company. So it just shows if you're not happy with something, you can actually make a change. Instead, you're beholden to some of these people. But we're happy to always have a crack at BGS. Obviously, they're not going through with this now because of the unbelievable backlash, Source, that they copped from the hobby community. This was just a post, and it was just like some of the reactions from some people. They said this is absolute garbage. So it's confirmed if you bought a Gem Mint graded card from BGS in the past that does not have a 10 and 395 some grades, your card is now not Gem Mint. So this is how it is. The Mint Plus is 495s, and then any 10 with a 95 after that is a 10. So Gem Mint, if you've got 2 10s with 295s or 1 10 with 395s, and then the gold label Pristine would have been 3 10s with a 95, and the black label is 4 10s. So that's what it was. And let's go. This is always good. I love Lameme. I love these. Promoted on at Lameme James. I love how we post this. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I pissed myself. Every post we've got that promoted on this, promoted on that. It's very funny. Bro Namath is here. Pretty bad write-up. BGS has taken over the TCG market share for the past year or so. I'm not sure if this is regarding the sports market only. BGS can do no right in anyone's eyes. They don't make any moves. They're looked at as dinosaurs. They make these adjustments, and now people are just up in arms. So let's just call it what it is. You either dislike BGS before this or like them before this. I don't see many who care about the change that like them before. That's fair. It's a fair call. It is a fair call.
Yeah, but what I don't understand about this is, Domo, is we've seen this before where they, instead of actually going and asking their customers, they just make these random announcements at freaking, these bloody conferences, and then they get all this backlash, and then they backtrack on it, mate. They just look like absolute lemons as company owners and business runners, that they got no touch with their client base, no touch with their user base, that they can't even run a poll or, ask people what's going on. Well, we've lost Dom, ladies and gentlemen, of course. How many weeks I've told him the wire never fails, all right? And his headphones have cooked on him, so he's had to go out and leave and come back. I'm giving him an absolute roasting here and doesn't even know it because he's not online. Oh, here he is. He's back again.
Sorry.
Dom, I was just giving you an absolute roasting. I just said how many weeks I've told you in a row the cord never fails, mate. So I don't know how many times I've got to tell you. I just got to keep roasting you about it.
That's all right. But anyway, your thoughts there. Obviously, you were giving a bit of a take there on BGS.
Yeah, I was giving a take. I'm not going to repeat myself. I was speaking to myself, but everyone else can hear what I was mentioning and how I felt about it. And pretty much I was just saying they've done it before. You know, we've seen at the National what they did with their logo. They've done the same thing again. And it's just so out of touch with their user base, their clientele. They should be, they should go, they should literally go if they've got people that directly submit to them and they've submitted X amount of cards over X amount of years and they've got an account with them and whatever, they've submitted a lot to BGS. They should literally get that pool of people, go, all right, here's like 1,000, 2,000 people that have submitted. They're loyal customers of BGS, submitted many cards over many years. Let's ask them what they think. Let's ask them, what's your opinion on this? We want to maybe change this. Put a feelers out there. Don't just make these announcements off a whim, right? Because you've made them in the boardroom down at the shack at BGS headquarters, and then just release them to the world without any consultation to the people that fund your business, your customers.
It is. You know what's funny? I really do resonate with what Bro Namath is saying, because I go back and the only reason why I'm saying this source is because I'm reading a few more comments here, yeah, and then I'm starting to think of the past, as in the past 3 years, 4 years in this hobby, right? And I'm going to read a few things to you, source, and I want you to think about grading companies outside of BGS when you hear some of these. BGS is completely irrelevant moving forward, says Back to the Cards. Rip and Wax says the question should be, why didn't Beckett do a test run and ask 1,000 hobbyists what they thought before they made it public? Slab Stocks Aaron says, I have only a handful of BGS slabs left from 4 years ago. So also when I graded them, already was going to cross them over to SGC at some point, but that point is for sure now. Buy the car, not the grade, says this person. Shy Breaks, Touch of Downs, Wax Room Breaks, buying all BGS 9.5, alleys for half off holler. Crossing my slabs 100%, quad 9.5, just lost all its value, mint plus, give me a break, I'm done.
But they've backtracked on all this and they're not changing shit.
Yeah. Anymore. They made their decision to cross the PSA card that much easier. The reason why I'm reading some of these comment source is because thinking about it, they did backtrack on it. Just like they backtrack on when they changed they're going to change the logo on their slab to this B here at the top on the Beckett. Yeah. And they said, no, it wasn't going to happen, blah, 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 all this stuff. But they were going to do that because obviously that's the B in that logo. And they changed that logo, that style of writing. Adam says, Uncle Ken told him to do it because he's got a 9-figure bank account. Uncle Ken could not give a shit what happens as long as the cards come to his thing and he makes money. He does not care about the hobby.
We'll speak about Uncle Ken in a second in regards to
anyway.
Don't worry about
that. But thinking about it, Source, just think about this. And I want people at home listening and watching to think about this. When in the last 4 years has any grading company taken into consideration what you wanted as someone in the hobby and just did it anyway and not giving a fuck and you're giving them a pass, except for BGS?
It's a good point.
So just think about that. Like, I was a bit like, oh, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. But no, you read some of those comments and you think to yourself, no, we hold them to a different standard. To PSA. PSA does whatever they want.
It's true.
You're complaining over a 9.5 and how it gets graded, yet PSA goes from a 9 to a 10.
But it has an 8.5.
And it's got an 8.5.
What?
And then you got like a black label, and then PSA 10 could be, the PSA 10 is literally could just be a gem mint card, but you're getting like a gold label pristine 10, which should be worth more than a PSA 10, but who knows? Because PSA is king, their 10s are worth more than everything. And saying that they're irrelevant...
Mate, their manufacturer of the plastic in China is a higher class of manufacturer of plastic, mate. It actually cost them an extra cent per slab than BGS. That's why people pay more.
But Bro Namath makes a good point with Source, what he said. Like, if I'm slabbing TCG cards, I'm not slabbing them at PSA over BGS. You got to be an idiot to do that. I'm sorry. It's borderline moronic. They got their space for certain things. It is what it is. PSA is obviously the preference over BGS, and that's just how
but
it
the
is.
TCG cards are made a lot better than the sports cards. So there's more that gem. And especially under PSA's guidelines, I mean, that's why they go for that, because the allure of getting the black label or the 10, because it's not easy to get.
Anyway, I just want that was just the thought I had. Just maybe we should think about how we let everyone else off the hook for 4 years.
That's a fair point. There's a lot of, I mean, there are some companies that did cop a bit of a whack. I mean, some newer ones that popped up.
Yeah, but they copped the whack. Yeah, but
and
some of
then-
the big ones copped the whack, and after a month, everyone forgot about it, and
Yeah,
they're
it's
just
true.
happy with the processes now. Where BGS have gone, oh, we're not going to move on with the process, so they shelved it. Where every other one's like, oh, we're only going to take up to this in
So
value.
you're saying, well, I mean, I have to agree with you, because I mean, they've done the same thing for so long. Maybe they did just have to make the courageous decision and say it's going to be this way. Deal with it. If you don't like it,
I'm just saying.
That's
just saying. Put the price up of subs because there was a big backlog. I'm not pointing out anyone. I'm just going to put things out there. All right. Expensive to grade a card because of big backlog. All right. That was one thing. But then to fool you into that, they dropped the pricing of the card to get graded when the backlog went away, but yet they raised the premium on the value of the cards. Like they reduced it. So the bracket went from maybe 2,500 in this tier, went down to 1,000. And it was that price. And then 1,000 to 2,500 went up in value. And now they got more tier systems. So more money you have to pay a premium on tier card, not just sub it for $14. I'm just saying.
Well, at least BGS, they only charge you a flat rate.
And no one complained about that, but they're happy to pay the
that's a fair
premium.
point.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing it out, Source. All right? So you're getting, like, genuinely have been literally rorted, but we're happy to let it go. But they want to just change the grading process, which, you know what's funny, Source? Now that you think about it, at least you can see what subgrades get you the grade. And we're complaining about that. We're complaining about seeing how your card got the grade. You know what they were best off doing? Just saying, oh, we're changing our things to this. We're going to have Gold Label Pristine, Gem Mint, and Mint Plus, and we're getting rid of subgrades. And these are the type of 10s that you can get. And the type of 9s. So say Mint Plus on there. It'll say Gem Mint on a 10, and there'll be a 10 Pristine with the black border on the Gold Label, and then a Black Label Pristine. And just say, this is what we've got now. There's another 9.5, which is 9.5 Mint. Also, the Mint Plus will have a border around it. And then they'll have just the 9.5 Mint, which is just that one there. They could have just changed it all and said, we're getting rid of subgrades. We're just going to have a grade on there now. And people would have cracked it for that as well. But yet there's other companies out there that give you nothing. So I'm just saying, we've got to think about it. I know I was a bit harsh on him too, and everyone else has been harsh on him.
But they didn't think that. They didn't think it through in asking the community.
No, that's fine. But when did any of the other ones ask the community?
No, they didn't. I agree. But the reason why it keeps getting funneled, keeps getting funneled to the bigger that company, especially in terms of PSA,
just them.
Is because
just them.
Just PSA is because dickheads out there are willing to pay more money for that piece of plastic. And we'll say that again until people realize that if you are buying this stuff, you're buying the card that's behind the piece of plastic and not the actual piece of plastic. Well, fucking wake up. Yeah, I still think people are idiots for spending that amount of money on some of these cards. That's another story for another day.
Speaking about submitting cards, do you want to discuss some fake slabs, which obviously was brought to our attention by a good friend of ours?
So Dan the card man did a bit of a video, but I will say this, Dom. I will say this. We've spoken about this before on the show. We actually, not our show, but I believe it was might have been on the Soccer Card Collective podcast when the boys had, I forget his name. Vince? was on there. Trying to remember his Instagram name.
Oh, from Soccer Cards Rock.
Soccer Cards Rock.
Yeah, I've been
That's the
speaking
one.
to Vince this week. I've been speaking to him this week.
There we go. From yes, correct.
Yeah.
Soccer Cards Rock.
Yeah, Soccer
Vince
Cards Rock.
had the ball. He was on the show, Soccer Card Collective. He was held on the Double Coverage Network, and they chatted about this a year ago, right, or even more. That there was literally a syndicate out there of people printing off old Messi stickers, Ronaldo stickers, also Messi cards, Ronaldo cards, and grading them through. At the time, it was BGS, right? It's gotten even more elaborate that they're going now through PSA, and it's a whole bunch of fake slabs, fake cards, fake cards that got authenticated by BGS and graded, and then people have noticed the community that they're actually fake, because how they can tell is when these cards, when a bunch of them get graded and they've got new certifications, and you can check out when they were certified or when they were graded, and then they hit an auction house pretty much, straight away. Something's a bit fishy here, and the community is amazing that they're able to identify these fakes in cards. And if these people out there that are trying to dupe others, it's just disgraceful. And the sad thing is that all the big auction houses take no responsibility when they go on their platform and they sell it to someone, and then someone gets it and realizes it's not fake, and they go, well, it's not real. Well, it is real because it's been authenticated by BGS. Go speak to BGS. They gave the guarantee. You go to BGS, well, in their terms and conditions, they got no guarantee. In PSA's terms and conditions, they got a guarantee, but it's only up to $150,000. So should your card be more than worth than $150,000, you can only get that amount back. And as a customer, you can only claim that back twice. So, once you've claimed it back twice, if you've been duped twice with fake cards in PSA slabs, after that, you're left on a whim and you can't claim any more. So there's pretty lackadaisical steps taken by these grading companies. We know the absolute crookedness that's going on down at Golden, because Uncle Kenny's got a 9-figure bank account, doesn't give a fuck about anyone else. So he couldn't care. He's still lining his pockets. I mean, he's got a fucking Netflix show. I wouldn't say he's the best representation of the freaking hobby, and they've given him a Netflix show, this slimy bastard, right? Then, second, right, you've got now I've lost my train of thought. Right, you got PWCC. We know, what they've done in the past and things. I mean, we'll say what we say about them. They're involved. They've had ones on their platform, taken them down. People have identified that they're fake. Then they get other ones on their platform. They notify those ones are fakes here. They don't want to believe it. They sell it, get sold. They make their commission. We've got other ones going through Probstein auctions on eBay. Obviously, we know, old mate there, Rick Probstein. Look into his history. I think if you can do a bit of Google search, you might find a few things. But he ain't the cleanest tool. He ain't the cleanest spanner in the shed. Let me tell you that. He's had a bit of oil on him. So, bit of things going on there. And then, other platforms as well. Heritage, they've missed some, and they take no accountability because in their terms and conditions, they don't give a fuck. They got, they authenticated, it's BGS's problem, it's PSA's problem. PSA's then doesn't take accountability. BGS doesn't take accountability, and it's just a big point of finger game. And unfortunately, the collector who's paid tens of thousands of dollars for these rookie cards of Messi and Ronaldo or stickers get absolutely rorted. It's a disgrace, and it just goes to show why you need to be wary in this space. I mean, if you are going to go, I mean, that's why it's
with everything. And then you got companies like BBCE that authenticate things, and they haven't even got an authentic guarantee, and people trust them. And you know what the best line that pretty much came out of Dan's mouth when we interviewed him, and this was almost like, I'm not going to put, it's not an actual thing. I'm putting air quotes up, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, because I'm not saying it's his guarantee, but we pretty much got a Dan the Card Man guarantee that when we spoke about a year and a half, January 2 years ago, not this year, the year before, January 22, when we said that when the BBC packs of Pokemon cards got sent from them to PSA to get slabbed, those packs that people were buying for exorbitant amount of prices, Dan gave his, in quotation marks, Dan the Card Man guarantee that there would definitely be some of those packs with fake cards in them.
G.I. Joe cards in there, or all base cards in there, no holo, card in there, or resealed packs. And
there's no, he said, like, pretty much there's no doubt that, and we said the same thing.
I mean, what did we go through? We went through all the base set packs that have been graded, all the Neo
Fossil.
packs that have been graded, Fossil. We accounted for it. There was like 12 at the time, maybe nearly 12 out of 3 or 4 sets we looked at. There was nearly close to 10,000 graded packs or 11,000 graded packs. How many of those are fucking resealed? And then slabbed under a PSA slab, and you think you've got a 2000 Neo Fossil freaking Pokemon pack, original Pokemon pack. Should you crack that slab and open that pack?
Which you will one day, because you save it for some special occasion, for the nostalgia moment, and you'll open it and you'll be freaking sorely disappointed.
Because
you'll be like,
there's
I spent 10 grand on this.
G.I. Joe cards in there.
Yeah. But seriously, the way that shit's regulated, man, is just disgraceful.
Well, there is no regulation. I need it. There is no regulation in this space, and that's why people get away with this stuff, and that's why these companies get away with this stuff. They put if PSA's work was so, unbelievable and arms and legs above the rest, why aren't they so happy to take up their guarantee? Why isn't it so easy to get onto them when you have an issue with something with their slabs? It's not easy. If you go speak to people out there, they make it pretty difficult for you. Their customer service ain't the best, right? It's not a straightforward step. So you've just spent $100,000. You've given $100,000 for this Ronaldo rookie card. Let's just say, for example, let's just not even go that. Let's just say you're an average Joe collector. You've saved up this Ronaldo rookie card. It's a grail card of yours. You've got a shit grade. It's $10,000, right? $10,000. That's just a lot of money for this person. Not that I think if you're buying a $10,000 card, I'll be honest with you, you probably should, I would say, maybe have $200,000 minimum in the bank. That's what I would say. That's just as a ballpark figure, right? I wouldn't be going to spend $10,000 of my own money when I've only got $30,000 in the bank. That's just fucking stupidity, especially on a fucking card, right? But $10,000, he buys the card. He's a bit of a lemon. He's only got $30,000 in the bank, but so he spends $10,000 on this Ronaldo card or rookie. Turns out to be fake. He goes back to Golden. Uncle Kenny says, "Kenny boy, you've listed a fake Ronaldo sticker in a BGS slab on there. I've found out it's fake. I can verify that it's fake. This guy's been doing this and that. He's actually the guy that submitted the card. He's been found out in the past to be submitting fake ones to BGS. He's then got his cousin to send it, and this is his cousin. Look, they're friends on Facebook. And he's done his little research. Right? Uncle Kenny goes, mate, it's authenticated by BGS. Go speak to them about it. All right? It's not my fault. It's in a BGS slab. I looked up the cert. The cert's legit. What do you want me to do? So he goes to BGS. BGS goes, well, terms and conditions, mate. There's no guarantee. If something slips through the cracks, there's nothing we can really do, mate. It's unfortunate, but that's just the case. So what the fuck is Beckett as a company or these PSA as a company doing? Like, what's their job in this?
Hey, when all else fails, though, Source, all right, for that poor guy, $10,000 for with 30,000 in his bank account. He's now got $20,000 left. When all else fails, he's got an asset Source. The bank doesn't know if it's real, so he can go to the bank and say, "I want to take a loan for $100,000 on this card." All right. And he's like, "I'm going to fool these guys just like Ken and BGS have done to me or PSA." And then the bank will turn around and go, "You're a fucking fool because it's a piece of cardboard. And you know what we'll give you money for the plastic and the cardboard? 75 cents, you peanut." And they'll laugh you out of the bank. That's how good your asset is. As worthless as a lollipop stick.
Yes. So just be mindful, ladies and gentlemen, that when you're going into this space, and should it be these things, I don't know. do your research. If you're fucking unsure, especially if you're going to spend that sort of money, even me, mate, even when I'm, at the point where I had a deal there was a guy in America, he had about 150, 200 followers. He just started his Instagram. He followed a bunch of kids. I followed him back, seen him posting this and that. He was posting cards, Then he started running a sale for all the cards that he posted, and he messaged me saying he's getting out of, the hobby, this and that. Anyway, offered me these cards and really good price, right? Really good price. Probably one of those situations where you go, this seems a bit too good to be true. And it was like he was begging me to buy the cards. And he was like, I got a situation, family situation. I need to liquidate my cards. I don't want to tell you about it. Give me some elaborate story. Red flag straight away, right? Didn't want to accept PayPal, goods and services, red flag. Venmo, Zelle only, yep. PayPal, F&F, yep. Red flag. Too good to be true, run away. All right? That's what I say. And be careful because, unfortunately, and we've told you this many a time on this show, right? Because there is a lot of money involved, there will be scams out there to scam people out of their hard-earned dollars. And it's sad to see, but unfortunately, a scam of this magnitude, and they've tracked this, that it could be, in essence, upwards of $1 million, because he was putting these into auction houses at the height of the market, when some of these, when Lemons out there were paying, excess of 100,000, 150,000 for some of these cards that are now worth fraction of the price, right? And I don't know if they're ever going to get back to those prices. I don't think so.
Maybe some of them are even on a fractional company. Oh wait, they don't even exist anymore.
Oh yeah. Maybe they were the ones buying up all these fractional companies and then trying to fractionize it down to the average Joe and take their money as well. Who would have thought that would happen? Who would have thought that? Yeah. Card Hour, Lemons, yes, they are Lemons.
Welcome, Vincent.
You spoke about it on the show. The fake BGS, Ronaldo stickers, Messi stickers, cards that were going through BGS at the time, and it's now found out that PSA has graded fake ones as well. And I'm not sure if any other grading companies are involved. I'm not sure. I'm not going to speak. I do know that those two are. They've gone on to be sold through auction houses. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy scam. And it's sad, man. It's sad, but people need to know about this shit. And it's good, that, you've got people out there speaking about it, like us, like Dan, like, Sports Card Radio and Rahul, AIH, and a whole bunch of it. I mean, it's good because then hopefully people steer away from that type of shit. I mean, I'm at the point where I wouldn't even go those cards that are being
I think Saucy's frozen. No, he's back. Lag. I think he's lagged. He's lagged the audio. Anyway, I'm gonna.
I said I wouldn't even want to go collect them. I wouldn't even want to go collect them. I wouldn't even want to go collect that set or that player or that not that player, but that card exactly or sticker because you couldn't get duped. There'd be 100%. Nothing worse than spending 10 grand on a fucking fake sticker. Imagine that.
I know. Matt says frozen Saucy. And Jay says...
I'm not angry that they had to freeze me to cool me down.
And Jay said, all this garbage is as much of an asset as a tin of pale dog food. Anyway, we're done and dusted with our rants. We're just going to... A couple more things. We got Saucy still on dial-up. Pay your bills, son, says Jay. All right.
No, I'm just really far from the modem where I am.
We'll get some recent pickup, Sauce. Have you got anything?
No, I haven't got anything, but go check out my PSG sub reveal on YouTube. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out. Bit of a funny one in there.
You did a good job with that. I was pissing myself off.
Did you like it? You like my editing skills? Yeah, that fucking took me a while. So you should appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen, because that motion that I had to put on it actually took me quite a while. I actually had to watch. Who would have thought, you could teach yourself how to do that stuff when you type it into YouTube? How do you do this? And I taught myself how to do that. Put those little smiley faces over those nice bosoms that old Tara King's got. So
just go check
it out. We can't say that.
Just go check it out.
Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen.
It's very funny. Matty,
that's my pickups of the week.
Matty, Saucy will send it to you. Don't stress. He'll put it in cardboard chat for you. He'll make your day. All right, my recent pickups. I bought 5 packets of Footy Stars. My first 5 packets. going into it, I was a bit excited, Source, because I opened my first 3 packs and I got nothing.
Hang on.
All
I'll
right.
put you up
Well, I
big
did
here.
get something. I got the worst insert of all time.
They're rubbish. Mascot insert.
Get rid of that. That's gone.
Get rid of that.
That's
Yep.
shit.
See it.
Don't want that.
It's good
You
to light
ripped
your
yours
cigarette
or
with.
bent yours. No offense to Aaron Norton. I just don't like the card. But I hit the box hit Source in the 4th pack. So, as we said, when Saucy opened his pack and he hit the Brownlow predictor, when you go back to that newsagent, you don't buy from that box again. Just wait till there's a freshie for the next time, or just go to another newsagent till you think it's finished, it's run out. But I hit a Brad Close classified, 87 of 365. So that'll go up on
Not
auction.
bad. Numbered card.
And then this one here, this is just the 1 in 6 pack that I got, and just the odds of me hitting this guy in my first 5 packs, I had to celebrate, mate. And I know it's just an essential, and it's a common card, but there it is, mate. The LDU.
You've hit your favourite player, though.
Yeah, LD Sue, as we like to call him on this show, the LD Sue.
Luke David Juniak.
He's injured at the moment,
which
is unfortunate. But that's it for me at the moment, Source. It's always a good fun rip, as we always say, Footy Stars. Maddie says, I wouldn't even know how to edit like you did on that last card. Took you a while to just glance at the card for a while.
Yeah, I might have got stuck there, Adam, glancing a bit too much, mate.
Also says he has that double coverage Buffon and Dybala patch.
Yeah, well, he knows I'm collecting them, so I've got to get it off him. I'm the hardest one. All the others I can get. All the others are really obtainable. The one that's going to literally make my bum bleed money is the Messi and Iniesta dual patch. That there's only one on eBay, and the Lemon wants nearly $500 for it. You can get absolutely stuffed.
Kat says, thanks for the shout out. Chlorine smell killer is a new thing for us. Love it. Last but not least, Source, there's one person in this hobby that I've missed. All right? I've missed. And this person, just randomly, it just came to my mind, all right? Because the Great Lemon blocked us.
Yes.
Sack card blocked us.
Yep.
PWCC blocked us. But it was the blocking that got me thinking. Card porn blocked us. And why did card porn block us? Because this guy's gone a bit quiet. The last time I saw him, he was ripping boxes of NHL.
The cup?
Yeah, the cup on a yacht with Chase, little pool man, and that's Shine. I haven't seen him. I have not seen him, and I'm just concerned. Is he in the hobby? Is he out? I don't know, So I don't know if you've seen him recently. I don't know if you've seen him recently.
I have seen him. Funny enough, I was scrolling through the socials the other day, and I seen this Instagram page comment on someone's photo, and it says "Shoe Shine Bob." I said, "What the hell?" And it has a picture of Shine as the icon. I said, "Who the hell is this?" So I've gone to
the page.
Click on it, the page, and you wouldn't believe what has come up. Shoe Shine Bob. Right? Now, obviously, it's not Shine, and it's obviously a burner. But I've looked this up on that website as well. This is legit. The bloke has traffic offences for drugs. Old mate Shiny Boy has been locked up 1 or 2 times. He definitely ain't squeaky clean. No wonder why him and Uncle Kenny are in business. Hang on. Matthew Allen. There you go. His name's not Shine. His name's Matthew Allen.
This can't be real. You actually found this on the... Did you actually look
someone's dedicated a page. Someone's trying to expose old mate Shiny Boy.
Keep going down. What else is there?
He's got his hometown, where he's from. There we go. He's got the picture here. There he is. There's his mugshot. It looks.
It does.
It looks like Jono at Cosmic Cards. It does look like Jono.
It actually does.
So I understand where he's got all that money to buy them Lucas now from. He's had a few drug traffic offences.
Well, it's either it's either he's
200
buying
pounds
the
of cannabis. Another 200 pounds of cannabis.
It's either he's
Conspiracy to drug traffic offences in 2006.
It's either he's got the money to buy the Luca, or he's washed the money while buying the Luca.
Oh, that sounds more like it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Shoe Shine Bob. Go have a look at it yourself.
What's his name?
It's the most random thing I've ever seen.
Do the crime, do the time. I can't do this. This is too good.
Oh, so someone ain't happy.
White Line Fever. The Pokemon games guy. What's
his name? Freaking that guy. Guru Collectibles, Guru Lemon.
Would you rather have $10,000 or a Blastoise?
What a lemon! Remember his videos? Where is he? The guy. He's just a grifter, mate. He's just a grifter that was just trying to extort people with cards, mate. Wow.
Shoot, Sean Bob. Where do you find this shit?
I found it in the comments, mate. This was late night. I'm sitting in bed scrolling Instagram.
Do the time, do the crime. It is the greatest.
I had to make note of it. I wrote it. I wrote it down. I didn't want to follow it because I don't know who it is, and it's obviously someone who's not happy with Shiny Boy.
What's his
and
name?
His collection.
Mustafa. What?
I don't know. It's fucking hilarious, though. But it makes sense why his collection's so good now, Doma.
Oh my gosh, he hasn't got freaking hot boxes. He's got hot plates. It's just unbelievable.
200 grams traffic offense, 200 grams of cocaine.
Oh my
Not bad.
God.
28 ounces. I don't know if it says that. It says 28U/200 grams cocaine.
Do the time, do the crime. Unbelievable.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway.
I mean, that was funny. We knew that would be fun. When I seen it and I showed Dom, he was in hysterics like that, and I think he's gone again.
I can't.
It's funny, isn't it?
Anyway, if we can find any more of these,
there's someone out there that has too much time on their hands. Let me just tell you
if we can find any more of these, or if you find any of them, please send them through. I would love to go through these on the show and just piss myself laughing. It is the best. It's like it's Kevin Durant. It's the Kevin Durant of the hobby.
It's the Kevin Durant of the hobby.
Oh my god. On that note, I'm Dom with the great man Sauce and Shoe Shine Bob. Keeps moving, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage.
Peace out, ladies and gents. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking All Sports, Double Curve.